Well, a new documentary is out today that's giving a voice to those suffering from post-traumatic stress. It's called Wounded Heroes, and it takes a closer look at how the healthcare system cares for those with PTS and the new alternative treatments and programs helping people heal. And joining us now is California filmmaker Michael Gier. Michael, this was your first documentary, so why this topic?
Well, I interviewed a veteran in San Diego named Carl, and during the interview, I found out he was on 16 different prescription drugs, down from 18. He was battling with post-traumatic stress, but he said the medications didn't help. There was just a Band-Aid, and I thought there had to be something better than all those drugs and just them being a Band-Aid. So I went on a search looking for treatments and programs that solved the problem of post-traumatic stress and helped them get off the drugs.
Yeah, and so Michael, what'd you find?
Well, there's a lot of different treatments that we found. One is called RTM, Reconsolidation of Traumatic Memories. There's ART, Accelerated Resolution Therapy. There's 20 veterans plus per day taking their lives by suicide. Plus there's the first responders, police officers, firefighters who also have very high suicide rates. And now our doctors and nurses because of COVID. It's very sad. So, we have a number of treatments and programs. Horse therapy, there's something called stellate ganglion block. There's different week-long programs throughout the country that are very beneficial to people. The Brain Treatment Center. But more importantly, we've talked to a lot of different veterans, and every story is a success story. People who had no hope, who were suicidal, who thought they had to live a miserable life the rest of their lives, now have their lives back because of one of the treatments or programs that we featured.
And that's obviously very encouraging news, but you gave those grim statistics there about the high suicide rate. In fact, it's estimated 13 million Americans suffer from PTS, and as you mentioned, the pandemic certainly making those numbers increase. One thing that I noticed while watching a part of the documentary is that you refer to it as post-traumatic stress, getting rid of the word disorder. Explain why.
Well, post-traumatic stress is a normal reaction to a traumatic event. So you're not weak. There's nothing wrong with you if you have post-traumatic stress, and it's not a disorder. It's actually an injury. They do a scan of the brain, and you can actually see where the problem is in the brain because of the post-traumatic stress. One person once they're behind, the post-traumatic stress is behind them, and they do a scan again, it's cleared up. It's gone because it's an injury. It can be seen. And so it's not a mental disorder. And so it can be solved a number of ways, but we call it post-traumatic stress for that reason.
Was it difficult at all to get these veterans, these police officers, firefighters to open up about their battle?
Sometimes it was because, they don't want to have it hurt their careers or promotions, but at the same, and so some of those people just didn't come on the air. We didn't film them, but others chose to do it because they've had such a dramatic change in their life. They wanted to give hope to those who are battling post-traumatic stress right now themselves, people who are where they were, in hopes to help them get to where they now are. And so that's why they chose to be very open and transparent with their story.
Yeah, and also I would imagine that opening up is also part of removing some of the stigma that's associated with PTS.
Well, and also what's great is it just shows how much they've come, how far they've come, because the fact that they can talk about it. There was a time they couldn't talk about it. Now they can talk about it, which also shows how well they're doing.
Yeah, what do you want the audience to walk away from watching your documentary?
It's all about hope. This film is not a downer in any way. I know the topic post-traumatic stress may sound like it, but the entire film is filled with people who now have their lives back, post-traumatic stress behind them, and every one of them are off all of their medications, or most of them, down to 2 or 3 at the most. So it's fabulous.
Yeah, it certainly is. Inspiring, hopeful, optimistic, all of that. Really appreciate you coming on and appreciate you doing this. It really is such an important topic, especially right now. Michael Gier, thank you so much. By the way, that documentary, Wounded Heroes, is streaming now on Amazon, iTunes, and Google. Thanks again, Michael.
Thank you.